What's going on, everyone? This is Clayton Youngberg coming at you from the #1 website for all things Android, AndroidAuthority.com. Today we're going to be giving you an in-depth review and a close look at the Samsung Galaxy S3 for Sprint. We've got the white model. Before we get into any of the software or hardware, more or less, let's just take a look at how this phone fits in the hand. See here that we've got our power button on the right, embedded in our chrome accents. We've got our volume rocker here on the left, also in our chrome accents. On the back, we've got our Sprint carrier branding as well as our Samsung Galaxy S3 logo. Here's our LED, our speaker, and then our 8-megapixel rear-facing camera. Got our 3.5mm headphone jack right here on the top, as well as a small microphone. Here's our earpiece. We've got two sensors and a 1.9-megapixel front-facing camera, as well as our LED there. Got our physical home button with some nice chrome accents around there. Our micro USB, which is plugged in right now, and then also another small microphone. This is a 4.8-inch Corning Gorilla Glass 2 screen here, so it's pretty scratch resistant, ding resistant, and it's beautiful. We've got a Super AMOLED display at 1280 by 720p with a pixel density of 306 pixels per inch. Now anyways, let's just go into the main front screen of this phone. When we pop on the lock screen, we can see here we've got a few quick icons down there, including our phone, our messaging, our smart memo, and then our camera application. We've got a nice clock there. We've got some charging notifications here, and then our status bar is pulled downable, if that's a word, when we have our lock screen open. Also, we can just swipe to unlock. Nice fluid motion there. Right here, we're greeted with our main home screen where we've got some preloaded widgets from Sprint as well as from Samsung themselves. Here's our Sprint preloaded widgets. Some call it bloatware. This is the Sprint hotspot. We've got our Sprint zone, and we've got our voicemail services there. As we scroll through, we see we have infinite scrolling across all of the home screens. We can technically just go from left to right all the way infinitely. Now here we've got our S-Suggest, which is a native Samsung application, our Media Hub, the Samsung Music Player, and then our home screen here with a nice weather widget. Let's go into our app drawer. We see we've got apps and widgets as well as our downloaded tab there. Go back to all of those. We've got our All Share Play preloaded, some chat on. We've got Downloads Manager, a Flipboard application, Dropbox, of course. We got 50 free gigabytes of storage on there for 2 years when you buy it from Sprint. Of course, all of our Google apps such as Gmail, Google+. We've got Samsung Media Hub and Samsung Keys. Also our Sprint apps. This comes preloaded with Google Wallet. We've got YouTube. We've got our music player, S-Suggest, S-Voice, the native Samsung apps that make the Samsung Galaxy S3 stand out. And we got our widgets as well, which feature some dual clocks, contact widgets, calendar, tasks, more clock widgets. We've got our assistive light, calendar, of course. We also have infinite scrolling on the widgets and the apps, S-Suggest. Go through here, music playlist, S-Memo, S-Bookmarks. Now all of those are the native Samsung features. We've got our audio options here, Google Plus posts. Go through. Now how these actually work is you'll grab a widget, and then we can move over to the right or left to an empty home screen. We can set it there, but if we're holding an app, we can bring it down to create folder or create page, or we can also get the app info. But we'll set that there. I haven't set up an account, but as you can see, they're resizable up and down and left and right as well. Makes that really convenient. Allows you to have a nice room on your home screen in case you need more. Anyways, we can pull down our notification bar up here where you see some toggles. We do have a system update available at this point, which will add the brightness slider and a few other things, including a power menu icon and a bunch of stuff like that. But anyways, here's our toggles here. We've got our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS sound, screen rotation, a bunch of power saving features, airplane mode, sync. This is where we access our full settings menu. We've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, data usage, more settings, and under the more settings is where we can enable VPN, NFC, which is a near field communication, as well as Android Beam. You can communicate, send apps, pictures, messages, or web pages via back-to-back Android smartphones that are Android Beam enabled. We can enable S-Beam, which is basically the same thing. We'll go back here. We've got our data usage settings, sound, display, wallpaper. We'll go into our display. This is where we're going to have to choose our brightness. We can choose automatic brightness or actually set brightness. We've got our smart stay feature, which actually watches your eyes, as you can see, and whenever you're not looking at the screen, it will attempt to dim the screen or shut it off completely as to save your battery. We have our font style and font size. We'll go ahead and switch up the font just to show you guys. We'll choose the Helvetica S. And now all of our settings and everything is in that. Our entire system is in that font. Anyways, we've got our power saver features, storage, battery, and application manager. We've also got accounts and sync, location services, and security. Now under the security tab, we can choose our different screen lock options, as well as lock screen options, where we can choose an information ticker to show us the news, camera quick access as well. Of course, we have clock, and we can choose our weather as well. We can disable the ripple effect, and then of course during the screen lock we can set whether or not we want motion, face, swipe unlock, face and voice, or a pin. Anyways, we can choose to install unknown sources, which I always do. We can choose device administrators. We can go down to our dock, date and time, accessibility. We've got our developer options that come native with Ice Cream Sandwich, where we can enable USB debugging, and we can also go down and enable forced GPU rendering for 2D hardware acceleration. Now we can go down to our About device, where we can see that we're running Android 4.0.4. And we do have our Easter egg on here. And we've already seen custom ROMs with Jelly Bean, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. We should be getting it very soon. We've got our kernel version here. Our build is May 23rd. And we have our hardware version, status of the phone and all that. So anyways, let's just check out some of the modifications we made to the lock screen. We'll go ahead and shut it off, pop her back on. Here we go. And as you can see now, we do have our news ticker. Now our news ticker will scroll along like that, and we can see all of our different news stories we chose. We can change it to technology, science, a bunch of different stuff, top stories, and we can also bring it up. So when we bring it up, we can scroll through, select a story, and go to it. We do have our weather set by location, as well as our charging, and then we have our quick controls for camera and all those things. So let's actually use one of these quick controls and check out the camera. Now when we're in the camera, we have a bunch of different settings. We're not able to use the flash because the battery is low. Big deal. Anyways, we can tap and hold the icon, then drag it to edit the position of the shortcuts, which is awesome. There's a lot of cool menus that tell you a lot of stuff about the Samsung Galaxy S3. But let's pop a picture. As you can see, it can take them pretty fast just by tapping. But anyways, we'll go ahead and check out our settings. And in our settings, we can choose the edit shortcuts. Self-portrait mode, shooting mode, single shot, we can do burst shot, HDR, smile shot, beauty panorama cartoon, share shot, which instantly uploads them, and buddy photo share. We have our scene mode where we can choose portrait, landscape, night, bunch of different cool stuff. We got our exposure value, focus mode, timer, effects. We can choose our resolution here. We always want our resolution to be the highest possible, 8 megapixels there. We've got our white balance, our ISO, our metering, anti-shake, auto contrast, just a bunch of different settings for this. Here's our focus settings. We have macro, face detection, autofocus, and then we can use our front-facing camera. What's going on? This is a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera, by the way. So this is just a really great camera, you guys. We can also do the video camera, and during the video camera, we can adjust our focus just by tapping the screen, stuff like that. Very cool. Check out some of the other apps, such as the browser now. So it's going to sign in on my Google account. If you logged in on a Google account, beware, it will sign in with your Google account. Might want to sign out before you browse. Go ahead and click back so it doesn't do that. We're going to go to our Sprint Power Deck, it looks like. Now to change the brightness on our websites, we will go to Brightness and Colors. We will deselect Automatic Brightness, and we can click OK. Anyways, while this is just loading, we can show you some of the options here. We can share the page, new window, of course, add bookmark, desktop view, which is awesome because I always like that. This supports Flash, and we're going to see some HTML5 integration as well. It supports that. We can go to our browser settings where we have our labs, where we can enable our quick shortcuts, our quick controls and stuff like that, as well as full screen browsing. Anyways, this is our tab manager. If we add some more like this, we can do that once again even. And we can scroll through just like that. To delete a tab, we just simply press the little minus key up there. And we can add incognito windows so it doesn't track our browsing and search history. This is our refresh button. Here is our bookmarks. It loads them from your Google account, our history, and our saved pages. So that's very cool. We'll go back. Anyways, let's check out a few of our other Samsung applications on here, such as the S Memo. The S Memo is pretty cool. It's nothing like the LG Optimus where you can kind of access it at any moment. This is just more of like a drawing application We'll check this one out. This is in the view mode. We can also edit the pictures, add some stuff on there. Some cool stuff like that. Now, anyways, we can go back. We can choose our recent applications by pressing and holding the home button, where we can slide to remove them or easily access them by simply clicking. Now we can remove all just like that, and then also enter our task manager by clicking there. Under our task manager, we can see which applications are running. It looks like there's none. We have a list of our downloaded applications, and then we have our RAM, where we have 1.6 gigabytes clear, which is fairly good. Now with 2 gigabytes of RAM, you can have no problem at all running as many applications as your heart desires. So anyways, guys, that was the basic rundown on the Sprint Samsung Galaxy S3. You can check out more on our website. Now we're going to have a lot of guides for cool mods you can do to this phone, as well as walkthroughs. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and leave a comment, anything you'd like to see, and we'll be right on it. Anyways, guys, stay subscribed to our YouTube channel and check our website frequently. We got plenty more where this came from.